Hi friends, my name is Camila, but you can call me Cami. And I'm here today to talk to you about who I am because you might be like this lady that ranted in that other video. Who is she and why is she talking to me so fast? If you haven't watched that other video, go watch that one first, which talks about what this channel is going to be about. And if you've already watched that, then let's start this video. So I'm gonna tell you the story of my life. I'm gonna get comfortable here and everything, and I'm just gonna tell you who I am. And why I started this. My name is Camila, as I said, Camila Hernandez. I have a full ass name. My name is Maria Camila Hernandez Martinez. That's my name, or Maria Camila Hernandez Martinez. You're probably gonna see it backwards. And I was born in Bogota in 1993, Bogota, Colombia. Colombia, if you don't know, which you should know, I'm gonna get mad at you if you don't know, is a country in the top part of South America, touching Panama, like right next to Panama. And in its very top of South America, it has two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific. I'm completely in love with being Colombian. I love the people. I love the country. I love the nature. It is one of the most diverse countries in the world. I am so proud of being Colombian, and I know we have a lot of challenges and not such a great reputation. We're trying to rehabilitate it. It's true that we kind of have a complicated political history, socio-political history. Economically, we're a pretty stable country. In the developing world, kind of considered a developing country. But all in all, my childhood was beautiful. I had a beautiful family. I have a beautiful family, thankfully. My grandparents raised me when I was smaller, but raised me, I say, because my parents used to work a lot. So I was cared for by my grandparents on my mom's side and by my parents whenever they were not working. So when I was small, my parents decided that they wanted a lifestyle change, and we moved to Curacao, which is an island right north of Colombia, next to Venezuela. It's a tiny baby island that no one knows. It's kind of like there's a bunch of baby islands in the Caribbean, and Curacao is one of them. It's a Dutch island next to Aruba and Bonaire, so they're called the ABC Island, or the Netherlands Antilles. And we lived there from when I was 7 to when I was kind of 15. No. From when I was 7 to kind of 12, maybe. And that was another beautiful part of my childhood. I was always loved and cared for and have amazing parents that loved me so much. We sometimes had money. We sometimes had a more modest life. So I'm not going to lie to you. I am very privileged, but not like, just kind of like middle class to high middle class, and we kind of rotated between those two. But all in all, my childhood was beautiful, and I grew up in nature and around flowers and just being a tropical queen. And then I moved back to Colombia because my parents found a tumor in my throat, and it turned out to be the thyroid, but it wasn't cancer, so great for me. Saved myself from that one. And then we just stayed in Colombia because I just needed to get a lot of medical treatments and stuff, so we stayed in Colombia. And that's where I did my high school, that's where I grew up. So I just had a very cultural upbringing. I graduated from high school actually in the States because I decided to move to the States for my last year of high school. So I was kind of everywhere, kind of like a globetrotter since I was very small. And I met a lot of different people. I saw a lot of different situations, and that gave me a very good painting of the world. At least on my side of the world, I saw all of it. I saw from people that really were very, very, very low income to people that had a lot of money. And I saw all of it. I saw all types of problems, all types of situations, but from my bubble. I'm not gonna lie. From my privileged bubble is from where I saw all of that. But I was always aware that with my privilege, I had to do something to give back to the world, because I just didn't want to be one of those climbs the corporate ladder kind of people, because I just knew that I wanted to give a meaningful change to the world. and to all the problems that I was seeing. I graduated high school. I went into college also in Bogota. I went to the school that my mom and my uncle went to, the best private school, the best private university in Colombia. I'm also extremely proud to be from my university. They gave me all the resources I needed. I had the best, most diverse, because being private had a diversity issue that it tried to solve. It was kind of woke in that sense. But I had a very wide range of friends that had a lot of interest. I'm very proud to be from my university. And then in my university, I did business with minors in textile design and French. And then I got an internship in Barcelona. When I got that internship in Barcelona, I didn't even know that Barcelona had sea access. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about Barcelona. I'd never thought about living in Spain at all. And it was just an opportunity that presented to me, and I obviously decided to take it. So I went and did my last year of college in Barcelona. I kind of see a pattern here, actually. And I started interning in the company where I worked for a larger part of my professional life, which was in the pharmaceutical industry. And I was a marketing assistant, and I did basically all the digital projects. Because I was young, I had a lot of expertise from college in digital, so I jumped right into there and had a great experience, had great teammates, had a wonderful boss. I've always been blessed with great bosses. And then finished my internship, and in Barcelona, I fell in love with my beautiful partner. We've been together for 4 years. And so because of her, I decided to move permanently after college. I went back for another year, had a year worth of experience in market research, specifically in media purchases, and even more specifically in massive consumer goods. So what are they called? They have a name, right? FMCGs, yes. Fast moving consumer goods, that's what they're called, which are basically products from the biggest companies. So like Nestle, Procter and Gamble, PepsiCo, all those giant companies. And the one that I worked with particularly was AB InBev, they're basically owners of all the beers in the world, basically. Great experience, I love that. And then I permanently moved to Barcelona, which is where I lived up until very recently. So I came back, I asked my internship company for my old job. They said yes. I got my old job back. So now I wasn't an intern, but I was a marketing specialist. Specifically, I still kept doing specifically digital marketing projects, because at that point they were important, but for the pharmaceutical industry, which is so highly regulated, they weren't like the most important thing. Now, obviously, because of the thing that's going on that we all know, I can't say it because YouTube will censor me, but because of the thing that's going on, obviously all products became digital. But back then I was in charge of all the marketing projects that were only digital marketing. And then I also did public relations work. So brand relationships, public image of the brand positioning, anything that was giving the brand a good name and giving it recognition out in the market. That's what I did. Loved my job. They tailored it specifically for me, which I'm so grateful for. My boss is amazing. I love him so much. He is not my boss anymore. That got confusing. I did that for 3 years. For another 3 years. Learned a lot of lessons, gained a lot more responsibility, but the problem with the pharmaceutical industry, if you're going to get into marketing, is that it's so highly regulated that you can't even say the name of the product many times. Unless it's an over-the-counter product, you can't say the name. And also I felt, even though we had some medicines that were profoundly changing people's lives, I felt that my contribution wasn't direct to the end consumer. I wasn't directly helping people improve their lives. I was helping them through a very large chain of people that gave them their medicine at the end. And yes, my job was to give the brand a good reputation, but I wasn't at all related to the end consumer. And I did not like that at all. And then the thing started, and digital projects obviously became a lot more intense. The workload was just too much. And I'm a very social person that hangs on in the difficult moments because I know that I have my team there. And because I couldn't see my team because I was working from home, I didn't have my team. I just started getting extremely anxious and kind of low-key depressed. And with the workload, everything combined, it just kind of rebooted my computer. I just had a massive crash in the middle of the thing we all know. And I just cried all the time, every single day I cried. I know that it's just because it's been a very difficult year, but just the mixture of being completely stuck inside my house because I lived in a busy neighborhood, so I couldn't really go anywhere without a mask. Masks are mandatory in Spain. And that mixed with not seeing anyone, it just got to my head, and I've been thinking about leaving my company for a long time because I wanted a change in my professional career. And I just said, in the middle of the thing in July, I just said, this is it, I'm leaving it here. I'm leaving this chapter here. I don't have a backup plan. I know I want to start my company, but I don't know what it's going to be about. I kind of had a blurry idea, and I just said, I'm leaving, thank you. Obviously, they were super understanding. Everyone thought I was crazy. Maybe I am crazy because I took a giant chance in a year that was not for taking chances. But I just know for a fact that many of the greatest companies and the most innovative companies have started in moments of economic recession. And that's been true for every recession. It just makes people lose their jobs. They need to find another project. Many times there are a lot of needs arising in the market. It's kind of like a reset button, and that's where many innovations and new ideas come, and that's where many people end up winning in post-recession times because they just knew the market and the needs at the moment. So I knew that a lot of companies were going to do good this year. We've seen Amazon, because they're the giants of e-commerce, how much they've grown this year. We've seen so many other companies that have started this year and that have become extremely successful. A lot of creators have popped up during this year and have become extremely successful. And so I started ideating, what did I want to do? What problem did I want to solve? I don't have earrings on. I just noticed I hate not having earrings. I feel naked without earrings. There were kind of just a lot of signs from the universe that there were more pressing problems. The David Attenborough documentary, for one, the Bill Gates 3-part documentary on Netflix, another sign, another clear sign. I just saw yesterday that water futures are now being traded as a commodity because water is getting scarce. I keep seeing that the world is acting weirder and weirder in terms of climate, just longer fires, crazier hurricanes. In Curacao, there hadn't been a aggressive hurricane in probably ever, and the hurricanes are closer and closer to the island, which shouldn't be logical because it's so south that it's too close to South America that there shouldn't be having hurricanes, and now they are. And I just keep seeing more extreme climates, and I'm just worried about the future that I am gonna have to live in. And I don't plan on having children, but the people that have children, they are gonna be extremely affected because of this. They're gonna need to wear masks all the time, independent of disease, because the air is going to be toxic. There's going to be a ton of cities that are going to disappear. The entire state of Florida is eventually going to disappear, and we need to do something now because the next 10 years are the ones that matter. And even if you don't believe in climate change, which we'll talk about that later, but even if you don't believe in climate change, why wouldn't you want a greener, healthier place for all of us? So that's why I'm here rambling on YouTube. I think that what I really want to do is help people just like me and that are in the process of finding their next business idea. And I want them to really consider mission driven businesses and mission driven ideas, which are basically companies that are just thought from the beginning as solving a problem for someone that really needs the solution. And yeah, that's why I'm here. I know these first two videos were very passionate and maybe rambly and fast paced in my talking, I mean, but what I want to do is help people throughout the entire process of starting a business that helps the world, give them the tools they need, give them the advice they need, help bring in experts to help them in different areas, and kind of create a hub for mission driven entrepreneurs, ethical entrepreneurs, sustainable entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them, and have a place where they all collaborate and help each other out. And that is just beautiful to me. A collaboration and the place where technology, design, and NGOs and activists meet, that's just a beautiful mixture that I can completely stand behind. And that's why I put my name on this channel after putting so many different names on other channels, because I just knew that I didn't want to have my name associated to all those ideas. But now I'm convinced that this is the idea that needs my name associated to it, because I'm just so convinced that my life could be just working on mission-driven companies, and that would be my collaboration in the world. And that would also help with the helplessness of not knowing how to solve so many problems that I'm seeing that I'm worried about. So I'm so excited that you're here with me on this journey. I hope to see you next time with a either more businessy, let's get into it video, or with a more exciting video talking about many opportunities that are coming up. I want you to consider me my friend and call me Cami and write me in the comments and write me on my Instagram and just find me wherever you can find me and let me know what you think about my idea and if you want to help and be part of it. If you feel like you could be a mission-driven entrepreneur or you're just interested about all the many things that I have to say, then subscribe down below, comment, like this video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye!